Hi, it's me, Pez Flips, and I have a very, very special surprise today. I was waiting for this guy to come into the mail. The blade, that is, if that gives it away. If you see my Balisong collection video, you've already known that there is a piece of the puzzle I have been waiting for. And for the big reveal, here it is. I have the poor man's tsunami. This guy, as you may know, this is the arm shark, tsunami trainer. However, as you probably are already able to tell, it has the Nabalis Hydra blade on there. So I just got this in the mail, maybe 10 minutes ago. I slapped it together, and here it is. Before I talk about my experience on putting it together and what I think, we'll just do a sound test, tolerance test, etc. So here we go. This is what it looks like when it's closed. The closed gap is acceptable. When it's open, perfectly fine. A really unique sound, honestly. Those fans, I think, sound great. So let's do the ice pick. We'll see the tolerance. Barely any play. Tap. No tap. So as you may know, the Hydra is a false live blade. So this guy, it does feel like, honestly, it doesn't require that much sharpening. I do feel an edge if I put my thumb on there. But it won't cut you unless you sharpen it, which I am considering sharpening it. We'll see. I just got a new sharpener as well. So this guy, when we talk about my construction process, so I don't really like taking Balisongs apart, specifically for the washers, because I always have a hard time keeping them in order for which side is supposed to go where. But for this guy specifically, you'll notice that I kept the arm shark pivots on both sides. The screws have stayed the same. An interesting detail. So the bushing inside the knife, the bushings and the washers, they are the Nabalis washers. However, I saw a post recently, or not recently, but, when the arm shark Tsunami came out originally, they were talking about doing this reblade, and I had been wanting to do the same thing because, honestly, the trainer doesn't really flip amazing. I don't really care for the balance of it. I like more neutral. What would I say this balance is? With very limited experience from just feels alone, I would honestly say maybe a little blade bias. It is kind of hard to say for sure. Just because I haven't really been flipping it, I'll do the swing. I know some people can see this and tell. For me personally, I can't really. I might put some more weight pins in the ends of the handles, but we will see. Another thing in the construction, however, that I did not notice on the previous post, I could have just forgotten it, but I noticed that with the handle here, the handle, there is a gap, you'll notice, between the sandwich design, and that's because this knife is barely bigger than the trainer. And, I'm looking at the difference between the washers of Nabalis and Arm Shark, and they look identical, at least to the naked eye. There might be a difference, but who knows? So what I decided to do is that before, I just put the hardware in there. The Nabalis hardware, it's kind of difficult to fully ratchet down, whereas the Arm Shark, you can just put it in there and it will allow you to torque it down as much as you can. The issue is that if you have the back ones, if you have these guys fully screwed in, it completely closes. But you'll notice I have something there. And that something there is the actual arm shark washers for at least one of the pivots. Because I don't really plan on changing this back to the trainer, so I'm okay with kind of, you know, sacrificing a washer if I may. When I think about, so like I keep the hardware for me. Basically, this is all Nabalis hardware, except for, well, I say basically, this is the Nabalis pivot, the screws, and this is the arm shark bushing and washers. So I might change them out, but I used basically the washer as a barrel. You know, I think about the replicant, for example, and they get away with putting the barrels in there. So honestly, before, this thing didn't sound good at all. And this is, you know, with having all this hardware swapped out, I think this sounds fine. It sounds fine without these washers, but the washers really help balance out the tightness as it's distributed throughout the handles, which makes the tolerance much tighter, which of course allows the sound to be a lot more pronounced with this guy. One criticism just off the bat in terms of aesthetics, which I did have to accept previously, who knows, I might send this in to get modded eventually, but I think that the blade shape is fine. It does come out a little bit farther than I'd want to. It is pretty dirty because when you get this thing, it is literally drenched in oil. Another interesting thing about the blade is that when I got it, look at it, it came in a package, and I don't think the states, I don't know what the legality is, but shipping it feels illegal because they hide the blade. You see that cutout there? They hide the blade in there so that it looks like, when they're doing like the scan of it, that it looks like a wrench. And I don't know, man. It's just a false edge. It's just a piece of metal, but this shit feels like I'm smuggling drugs in or something. But anyways, you know, this is just a short review. Let's just hear the sound one more time, guys. I think if you're going to try to do this, definitely go for the spacers, the washer spacers, because this will drastically change the sound. Without them, this thing sounds kind of like shit. But this is just my review of the POORMAN'S TSUNAMI. Again, if I was a wizard, like I mentioned in my collection video, if I was a wizard, I would probably get the coating on this thing removed, and I would get this anodized. Man, if I did that, probably I would also see if they could do a regrind, maybe take off this extra material right here so that it's a bit more of a straight profile. But yeah, if you already have the Arm Shark Tsunami and you are thinking about modifying it to the live blade, I think this is a great alternative. I didn't have to do any tuning. There's a little bit of fidgeting around to, you know, get everything to fit into place, of course. I mean, Sandwich is a little weird, but ultimately this was quite simple. I did it in no less than 15 minutes, and I'm much happier with the way this thing flips now. But I'll probably doing a future review of it after I spend some time, but as of now, yeah, it's been Pez Flips. See you guys.